bitch back that come with a arc in it. I fuck a white skin, light skin, dark skin. I put a twist.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, June 19th, 2021. It's your girl, Shara Sides. It's at Relative Realness. I'm back. I took a little vacation, but I'm back. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Mercury almost out of retrograde. Happy Gemini season's almost over, and I know all the other signs are extremely happy because you're all haters, and it's okay. But Gemini season's almost over. I don't know. I don't see them, darling. Shout out to Katie, our studio manager in the building. Shout out to Katie, always holding it down on a Saturday. Shout out to the Smack Facts Bros for taking over my hour last week and doing anything. I hope you guys tuned in. If you didn't, make sure you tune in every Saturday from 1 to 2 while they do their thing. Benji out there arguing with Katie. I can't. I love it. But I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back at DTF Radio. I'm happy to be back at Relative Realness. I'm happy to be back on my live. You know, I of course brought the Fenty out for y'all because I'm not an ambassador. They're not paying me for this, so I'm gonna stop doing that. But you know, my drawers is clean. It's still Gemini season. It is still Gemini season. We still have a good 2 days in Gemini season. 3, 2, 3, whatever. Make it work. You know, if you haven't shown love to your fellow Gemini in your life, then it's time that you get the fuck up and get it done because we're necessary and you know it. But shout out to everybody who posted for me and showed me love on my birthday. My birthday was on June 10th for those of you who missed it. If you want to hit my Cash App, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? You could do that immediately because I went on vacation and the funds have definitely run out. Um, but let me give y'all my Cash App. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm not playing. Like, I'm not playing. I still have a child to support, and I'm out here taking vacations. You know what I'm saying? And I have another vacation in July, but that's besides the point because that has to deal with cancers, and it's not your season yet. So here, hit my Cash App. I need that. I went on vacation, and I went to Puerto Rico, and I had a little vacation, and it was very interesting for me because I've never really had a vacation, which is sad because I gracefully turned 37 this past week and I was home married. So to never have a vacation was kind of depressing, but it was a beautiful thing and I enjoyed it and I had fun and I had time to relax and chill. Shout out to Glenn. Glenn was the bartender at my hotel, the Hyatt Del Mar Dorado. I don't know. It was too many words. And that's another thing. Puerto Rico, y'all hotels got too many words in it. And it's a lot of words that I can't pronounce. So if y'all could just bust that down, I would really appreciate it. My hotel was about 45 minutes out of San Juan from the airport. So my Uber was $130, you know, US dollars because Puerto Rico is the same thing and it was $130. So if anyone's going to Puerto Rico, you know, I advise you to rent a car because you're going to spend way too much money on Ubers and transportation or private transportation and everything is an hour away. It's one little island, but it was amazing. I had a great time. I swam even though I can't swim. I left with about 45 braids and I came back with about 14. Um, it was like every day a braid or two or five decided that they just didn't want to be a part of my head anymore. So I had a good time. I was at the airport like, I don't give a fuck y'all bitches going home with all your braids. Like you clearly didn't get down how I got down. I was in the pool. I was in the hot tub. I was in the beach, you know. And it was beautiful to be at a beach where you could actually see the water, where you could see the fish swimming with the water. Can you see the okay? So, yes. So I You would think being on vacation that you would like sleep in and like, just enjoy the sleep. Nope. I was still up at the crack of ass at like 5, 6 a.m. And it was just so beautiful. And I just felt like, how could I not, go meditate and do my yoga while I'm out here? That would just be dumb. So every morning I went on the beach and my boyfriend didn't come with me. He gave me my time and my space. And he gave me my space and I went on the beach and I had my little speaker and it was extremely different from meditating at home because one, I wasn't hearing the sounds of Brooklyn. I wasn't worried about, who's gonna walk through the living room while I'm trying to meditate or whatever. It was just a different space. I was literally out in the open, like smelling fresh air and being one with the birds and feeling that like seawater on me. But it also just, I don't know, it just made my prayers a little different. It made my appreciation a lot more for life. Like I just had a lot of gratitude. I was so grateful to be there. I was so grateful to have that time and that space. And and I realized it was necessary. Like it was so necessary to take more trips and be in those spaces and in those places because being here all the time will fucking drain you and you'll be miserable. Even if you meditating at home, but you're hearing the sounds of blackness outside, it's not fun. You're in that moment for that moment and then you have to bounce back to reality. So being away and doing it, I got to stay in that space throughout the day. I got to like move with whatever intentions I put out for the morning, and continue in that light, which gets real difficult around here. Like since I've been back, from the time I hopped on the plane, I had some Shrek looking dude with his knees in my back. Like I had someone hack into my phone and send random people messages. I had an old lady steal my wallet at the grocery store. And it's like, why am I here? Like, what did I come back for? But I'm back. And also within that meditating state, it made me just reflect on the past year or two and the things that I've done or haven't done and want to do. So the pandemic last year, I don't know. I don't think I would be where I am if it wasn't for the pandemic. So it helped me, period. I wasn't happy in the space I was in. I wasn't happy with the person I was living with and the situation. I try to be a people person and at the same time give people their space. I try to be loving. I try to do everything with love and fun because I just don't want to be stressed out. Um, and I got out of that space and I'm finally in a position where I'm happy. My son is happy. He has his own room and I have my own room and it's a safe space. And I'm still in my hood, which I love. I will always rep East New York. I will always rep my community. Um, and I love it. And this podcast came out of love and it came out of just wanting to do something else. During the pandemic, I decided to start a blog called Share Sides, just like my IG name, sharesides.com, where I was just sharing all the sides of me. I was writing more, which I've done my whole life, but I had my friends encouraging me more to do more writing. So I decided to share the writing. So I tried to start off like from the beginning to now of the journey and an explanation of why Shara is the way Shara is. So my writings have everything from me being adopted to me getting divorced to me being a victim of rape or everything, right? Or just me missing my parents. So with the birth of that, I had time to get on lives and talk about it and just have fun and talk about sex and talk about anything else. And Tiffany, my co-host at My Everydays, I don't know if that's her name anymore on IG. You know, we worked at a school together, but we never really interacted with each other. And during the pandemic, she had come on my live and it was a great show. and we were having fun and we were talking about stuff, and it just felt great to connect with someone and be honest with someone, which is what I try to do at all times, is just live in honesty, right? Because at the end of the day, people are going to judge you regardless. So I'm going to be as honest as possible, and you're going to make the decision of whether you want to be a part of my journey or not, right? So I met her, and she came on the live, and it was dope. And then a little while later, she, she came to me with this idea. There's this radio station, and they're doing video podcasts, and your energy is really dope, and we should really consider it. And to be clear, this isn't the first situation I've been in where I tried to do a podcast with someone. Like a few years ago, I tried to do a podcast with this girl, and it was the same. It was the same situation. Hey, Lulu, happy birthday. It's still Gemini season. Happy birthday to my little sister. We have the same birthday. It was last Thursday, but it's still today because it's still Gemini season. So happy birthday, boo. I love you. But this isn't the first situation I had where someone wanted me to be a part of a podcast with them. Like I had another situation with another person where we were in the studio. We had a name, we had a logo, we had everything. We had the gist of what we wanted to talk about. And again, I had to learn that all energy isn't good energy, and all energy doesn't mean that, you're meant to do things together. So this time I was trying to be careful with the situation, whereas I thought, well, this person isn't a friend of mine, so maybe we'll have more of a professional understanding of what we really want to do. So we went into it knowing that we wanted our show to be about, yes, motherhood and self-care and the journey of women. And I also wanted it to be about everything else as well. I wasn't excluding men because I don't like the idea of just talking about women and self care. Like, men are out here too, and we're nothing without them. They're nothing without us. We are all here together, and we all have a conversation that needs to happen. But at the end of the day, I want it to be a genuine conversation about everything from entanglements to adoption to self care to medical, like whatever, to political. And I'm not a political person, but I'll crack jokes all day and we'll make it work, right? A genuine conversation. So I think we both wanted the same thing in that sense. And I think we both didn't expect it to be as much work as we thought it would be, right? So I can't speak for Tiffany. Yes, she is no longer with us. She had about 4 or 5 shows that we did together. Our first show where we did the 21 question show, which was an idea we both came up with as a way for us to get to know each other and also for the audience to get to know us as well. And it came out really good. And then the next few shows we had, our really special guest, Janika, who was a life coach and a yoga coach. And she came on and she was honest and pure and shared her story and her journey on how she made decisions in her life to quit her job and move to St. Lucia, which is where I'm from. So it was just very interesting to have those connections with her. And it was great. And she came on for those 4 or 5 shows. And as the shows continued to go on, I felt like energy was changing. I felt like the devotion wasn't really there. I felt like I was pulling most of the weight as far as we would talk all week, right? We'd come up with these great ideas. But then when Saturday came, none of them were put into fruition. So it started to frustrate me because it was like I'm sending these documents, I'm sharing, I'm giving myself, and I didn't feel the need to carry you. You can't just show up and just show up and still not fully be present. So you can't, it's a conversation. You can't pick and choose what you choose to talk about. Like, we're here to talk. So it started to frustrate me a lot. So before Tiffany went on vacation, I did send her an email expressing to her how I felt about the energy and how I felt that the energy was shifting. I also expressed to her how her energy and her attitude affected the relationships with other people in the studio. And I was being honest with her because I wanted her to not start to be like treated differently and not know why everyone is shading her, right? So I wanted to be honest with her. So we can either fix it or you can say fuck them. That's up to you. But I'm gonna let you know what's going on because I too did not feel comfortable. So however she received the email was not the intention of which I sent the email. She felt as though I was chastising a child. She felt as though I was belittling her. And I honestly did not have the energy to make her feel better. She is not here to speak for herself because, again, she also chose to not do that, you know? So you lost respect for me, for me, for many reasons. We both came into this brand new, don't know what we're doing, but wanted to do something for ourselves and wanted to do something and use our voices to say whatever the fuck we wanted to say. And the fact that you chose to easily just give up kind of made me lose all respect for you because you didn't even try. You know, you expressed to me how you felt about I won't say you because I'm not directly talking to you because you're not even on here because you blocked me and everybody else. But you constantly expressed how when other people gave you feedback, you know, they felt like it was my show and you was just a guest. That's not my fault. Like I can't. You need to match my energy. You know what I'm saying? We're here together, but we're not the same people. But if you bring a certain type of energy and I bring a certain type of energy and they don't match, they're just not going to match. And the people are going to see it, stranger, friend, foe, whatever, and I'm going to see it. You know, I spent every week, I had Sunday shows where I was watching my shows over because I wanted to see the mistakes I was making. I wanted to see where there needed to be growth. I don't know that you were doing that. I don't know that you was understanding. You wasn't understanding the assignment. You feel me? And if you drop the ball constantly, I'm not gonna keep picking it up. And if that's the case, I don't need you. And from jump, we knew I didn't need you. From jump, we knew I was the Beyonce in the group, and I don't care. But also, you also put on this attitude where anyone you have met before, during, or prior to this process, you then blocked everybody. Like, and that just shows that you weren't ready. You weren't ready to be in this. You weren't ready to be a part of that growth or that understanding because no half the people you blocked had nothing to do with any of this. You know what I'm saying? Half the people you blocked could have helped you in your future endeavors and your future goals. Like those are all connections. Those people didn't do anything to you, but those are choices that you made. So Tiffany's no longer with us. For those who asked in the question box or in my DMs, um, that was the main question that I got was where was Tiffany? And I can't explain to you why she left for her because she's not here to explain for herself and she's blocked everyone. But I'm sure someone somewhere will show her this content and she'll express herself or I'll get a long DM, which I won't read because, again, it is not my job to carry, protect, or teach you. We're both here. Like the one time you were at this motherboard, like doing the volume, you never saved the audio. Like it's not my job. It's not because I'm learning too and I'm loving every freaking minute of it. So, with that said, being on my vacation, meditating and centering myself, um, also made me think about the things that I want to do. Like, yes, I took a chance and I started the blog and I literally put all my business out there. Like all my business is on my blog. Like if you read my blog, you'll feel like you know me. You still don't. But um and then this year I put myself out here to do this podcast. And this is an investment. This is an investment in myself. Like we paying for this. Like this isn't no like rinky dinky free shit. And I really felt like it was a moment for her to just get out of the house, you know? And if that's what you want to do, then that's cool. But you need to go do like a soul cycle class or a Broadway dance center. Like go do stuff like that if you just need to get out the house for an hour or two to get away from your two beautiful daughters. But don't invest your time and your money into something that you know that you're not really here for, that you're not really devoted to. You can't just show up and be cute and drink. Sorry. That wasn't the intention. That wasn't my intention. And I just felt like there was so many things that were said that just contradicted one thing else. It's like you don't want to talk about sex, but you post nudes up on your family vacation. I don't care. Like, What are you doing? I'm confused. What are we doing? Because as much as you put in this impression that I'm the sexual one and I want to talk about sex and oh when I'm gone have your sex show and like you don't want to discuss polygamy or anything like that or when we had the stimulation show you automatically thought it meant sexual stimulation. Sis, stimulate your mind. And I hope that you're taking this time. I hope you've taken this time. I hope you decided to block everyone. I hope you're offline altogether because you're really trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. Because at this time, day, and age, I don't have time. So since she's been gone, since she's been gone, um, I mean, from the show where she went on vacation, and I had a few of my friends come on, and I had the Smack Facts bros come on. The energy's been different ever since, you know. And I'm not saying that the energy was bad when you was here. We had some great moments. We had some fun. Like I did love having conversations with you. If I didn't want to have a conversation with you, I want to be talking to you. Period. But everything else was masking all the things that could have been beautiful, and that like I was literally finding ways to like make sure you felt better, you know, make sure I'm giving you eye contact, make sure I'm not turning my back. And at the end of the day, it started draining me. Like I felt like I had to belittle myself or like dumb myself down to make you feel better. And I never, ever want to be in that position. I've never been in that position. I'm always the loudest girl in the room, and I'm always gonna be the loudest girl in the room. And if you tell me to be quiet, I'm only gonna get louder. You feel me? And if you can't keep up with that energy, you're gonna get pushed aside or you're gonna move yourself. And she removed herself. So God be the glory and the praise. Amen. Amen. So now it's a new year. I decided to stay and continue to do this podcast. Can I afford to do this podcast? Probably not. Will I bust my ass and continue to do it? Yes, because I actually enjoy it, because I actually enjoy people, because I actually enjoy conversation. I'm a Gemini. It's still Gemini season. It's still Gemini season. I'm still available for lunch, brunch, dinner, breakfast, late night dinners, late night snacks. I eat Haagen-Dazs, insomnia cookies, all that. I'm not on a diet. I got a vacation next month, but that don't got nothing to do with nothing. We got 2 more days in Gemini season. If you have not hit me up for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, then now is the time. I'm not available today though. However, I want to shout out my gang and the Trap for their beautiful dinner they had for me last night at this Japanese restaurant. I don't know the name of it, but it was good. Niggas was smacked. Like we was smacked. A lot of footage that I can definitely use for blackmail in the future. Um, Shout out to at Haironomics main bar, the salon in Greenpoint, and at Haironomics on here, and at the Beauty Compound, and at the Naya Experiment, and at Jerry with a G, and at Divine, at all of y'all, at everybody for all the love and support I got for my birthday. The salon threw me a little shindig. We had drinks and we had chocolate covered strawberries as we do. So shout out to them. Black owned salon in Greenpoint. Get there immediately. Get your eyebrows done, your lashes, your microblading, lip tint, nails done, hair done, everything done. As you can see, my hair was done by Haironomics Main Bar. It used to have finger waves everywhere, but that was like 3 days ago. And if you know me, this is an accomplishment that this has stayed the way it has stayed today. So shout out to everybody who showed me love for Gemini season. Um, Shout out to everyone who has continued to support me in this journey of this podcast. I can only promise you that I will try my best to continue to just talk shit and be myself and be honest. Um, this year, I want to I thought about it and I decided that I'm going to try something new this year, you know, besides the podcast, right? Because, you know, Insecure is over. Let's have a moment of silence for Insecure and it being the last season. Like, even watching like Issa Rae and Yvonne Orgy and the rest of the cast say goodbye on like their IGs was emotional for me. But, you know, like I said, I will meet Issa Rae one day, some way. So I decided that I'm going to start working towards that goal. I have a few friends who are comedians and actors, and and it's always a joy to be around them and see that energy and just see how they work and how they move. Shout out to at Carolina and Sydney and Marie and Amina. They have a show every Sunday at the Knitting Factory. Um, if you guys want to go see a dope ass comedy show with some dope ass black queens, especially this weekend, it's Juneteenth weekend. So if you guys could get tickets for that, then do that. Um, but it's just a joy to see them dive into that. And every time I'm around them, they're like, "Oh, Shara, you're so funny, and you should be a comedian, and you could be a comedian." And I don't see myself as funny like a comedian where like I haven't been and I'm on stage and if I was a comedian, I would literally be up there like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing up here, but I'm here. But, I think of myself as funny like Tracy Ellis Ross. Like she's not a comedian. She's just funny because she's her own quirky, weird self. So with that said, I'm going to I'm gonna get some headshots done. And I'm going to start going to random auditions and just see what it is. Like I gotta get discovered one way or another. You feel me? So that's the goal for this year. So if you see me on like a Cheerios commercial or like or a Skechers commercial, I made it. Mama, I made it. You feel me? I'm one step closer, but I'm gonna do it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Take some acting classes. And I think everybody should do that. I think everybody should find something to dive into. I'm 37. I still look like 27. I know it's the truth. I know it's not a lie. You feel me? And before I'm 40, I want to do some things. I want to say that I did some things. I definitely want to travel more, which I think everyone should do. I definitely want to, hey, hot stuff. Hey, I'm here. I definitely want to travel more. I think everyone should travel more. I think whenever we have a long weekend or a vacation and we see those cheap flights and we see those JetBlue round trips for $86 to wherever, you take it. Take it. Like, what are you be staying home for? I've been miserable since I have been back home. People have been trying me. Mercury's fucking retrograde is trying to leave with a bang. It don't make sense. But when I was on vacation, it was beautiful. Like the birds, good morning to you. The birds are chirping. It was beautiful. Like no one was stressing me out. I went zip lining and it was like 5 zip lines and those stupid drawbridges. I wasn't a fan of the bridges. The way my anxiety is set up, me and the bridge, we were not friends. But the zip lining was dope and it got higher and higher and I got as ignorant as possible. Like I was screaming like ear like going through the zip line and singing like don't drop that dun 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 don't drop. Yeah, it was a fucking great time. I had a great time. I'm sorry. No, but it was great. And then what else did we do? We went to Old Juan, and it was beautiful. And we went to Old Juan, and it was beautiful to see like all the old houses and the colorful houses. But then it started raining, and I had to go because I don't do the rain. And it's amazing when people are on vacation and it rains. They don't seem to care. It's like I'm on vacation. I'm in Puerto Rico, and the rain doesn't phase me. They'll continue to swim, continue to walk, continue to drink. But if it was New York, y'all would be running out that rain so quick, like it didn't even make sense. But I was still in New York in my mind and I wasn't standing in no rain. And plus the dress that I had on was really silky and the bitch ain't had no drawers on. So I had to go. But it was a beautiful trip. My hotel was an hour away from the airport, which cost me $130 Uber, which I said earlier. So if you're going to go to Puerto Rico, or anyway, I would advise you to just rent a car, which is hard to do in a pandemic because everybody has the cars and there's no cars available. But yeah, figure that out and plan everything before you get there. I didn't get to go to the rainforest and stuff, but the first 2 days we were there, it was raining. So that sucked. But we made the best out of it. Our bartender was dope at the hotel. We had better drinks and better food at the hotel than we did outside. Glenn, our bartender, he was dope as fuck. He was trying to help a sister out, because I had no weed. But I found some. Shout out to the guys at the Euro trip zip lines. You know who you are. Definitely hooked me up with that Cali woo, and I was high as fuck. I went back to my hotel and I sat on the beach and I smoked the last night, and I had too much weed, so I had to give it to the homie at the bar. But when I tell you I was high, like I thought a stick in the sand was like an iguana just standing still, and like was scared to walk over there. So I was like talking to Lynn, like, yo, look at that. Like, go get that. And he's like, it's a stick. And then like when I was in the jacuzzi, like in the distance, I saw like this red fireball, but it was like in the bushes of like the hedges and stuff. I was like, oh my God, the hedges are on fire. But it was because the sprinkler was on, and I was high. I was so high, and it was good and it felt good. And the drinks were good. The beach was good. I can't swim, but a bitch could float the fuck out of some water. Like I be floating to the point where you think I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I can't swim. I almost drowned in the pool. Not really, but my braids did a lot. But I had a great trip. I'm happy I'm back. I'm happy I'm still here. At Relative Realness is still going. The podcast still exists. It's still the same name. It's still the same agenda. I've had some dope people on the show. I've had Yami Tsunami on the show with her Planet Pineapple cannabis brand. We've had Danico on the show as a life coach and just talking about taking those chances and doing things for yourself. I've had the pleasure of having one of my old students on the show last week from Trey Whitfield School, Sydney Williams, which I also wanted to talk about because um that's one show I didn't actually watch back because I was on vacation. But it was brought to my attention that my comments on the show last week offended some people or made them feel some type of way. So to be clear, I did make a statement about not being happy with when my son attended the school, Trey Whitfield, and I felt like it was a lot of pressure for him to write off of a board uh, at 3 years old in pre-K. I might have said kindergarten, but I meant pre-K. And in saying kindergarten, I offended that teacher. And I would never want to offend that teacher because that teacher was dope. And what my mistake was within that conversation was it may have seemed as though I was bashing the school or only stating what was negative about it. And that was in no way my intention. The conversation just went where the conversation went. And the conversation wasn't about that. So what we talked about was what we talked about. However, you're absolutely right. There were some good aspects of the school. There were things that they could have worked on and still can, but there was also some good aspects of the school, such as Girls Club, which was a weekend event where some teachers, mainly two of them, who I know of who worked the hardest with it, was Miss Bellamy and Miss Havicum, who created this program, which we had years ago, but they enforced it more with them where the girls could come on a weekend and confide in them, and they would have events and they would take them places and just encourage them and remember that they are beautiful black queens or something and all that. And I appreciated that. And they did an amazing job with those girls and with those young ladies. And they were teachers that you could go to and you could depend on the same way I wanted to be that type of teacher. So I'm not saying that it didn't exist at all in Trey Whitfield. I am just saying that I wish it existed for me a little bit. And I wish, ooh, I don't know what I just did to the desktop. And I wish that we just worked a little harder at it. But if I offended any teachers, I definitely did not mean you. And I also commend you and appreciate you in your journey of this last year and remote learning. And I pray for you in going back in September. And I pray that this time has given teachers a different outlook on what children really need. Um, yes, they need to learn all these fun facts, but they need that companion, they need that compassion, and they need your patience. So school year is about to be over. My son's going to the 5th grade. He's excited, but he's not excited. He's excited because it's his last year at that school because he does not feel comfortable because most of the students are Polish. But he's gonna finish out his 5th grade year, and we're gonna look for a dope middle school for him to go to where kids look more like him. And I just want to encourage him to be more open throughout the summer and be more excited about things. And I wish nothing but the best for Trey Whitfield. I wish nothing for the best for all the schools that are reopening in September. For all the teachers that are going back to work in September. I plan on going back to work in September. Do you hear the excitement in my voice? But also continue to have that time and that space for myself. Don't let the pandemic be over and we return to reality and everyone forgets about that self-care and that self-love and all that energy that everyone was spewing a year or two ago. Keep the same energy. Keep that same selfishness. It's okay. It's time to be selfish. I can no longer carry anyone. No one's going to carry me. And we just got to figure it out for ourselves. So I hope everyone is taking that time. Hey, Nadine. Nadine Dillon. She's also an alumni of Bethlehem Baptist Academy, also known as Trey Whitfield School. She's an amazing energy. I've got to watch her throughout the years through social media and be in her business. But just see her be the same beautiful, genuine soul that she's been her whole life. And I've seen her show up for friends and family. And I've seen her do amazing things with empowering women. And hopefully she'll be here with us next weekend. So everyone look out for her. She'll be here next Saturday at Relative Realness, just telling us some more of what she's been doing. Shout out to Third Parent Family out in California. Shout out to Whitney and Dov and their food pantry. Last weekend they had their dope ass event. Mad people came out. I didn't get to shout y'all out because I was in Puerto Rico. But, you know, shout out to them. Shout out to them continuing to do things for the community. If you're out in the San Francisco area and in California, look them up at Third Parent Family. If you want to donate, donate. Shout out to the Royalty Project. Oh my God. The Royalty Project, real quick, I'll tell y'all, is a nonprofit organization that empowers the youth about their Black life and their Black culture. So happy Juneteenth. Shout out to the Royalty Project. Y'all definitely need to look into that. They have a spring and a winter session where every Saturday the students meet up. They talk about their culture. They talk about music. They talk about their melanin. They talk about everything. They give them the crystals. They empower them. They make them have dialogue, which is amazing. Amari's done it. He loved it for the first session. I love that he got to like interact with kids who looked like him. My 2 nephews in Tennessee did it as well. The pandemic has allowed them to open it out more because it is virtual. They're allowed to have more people now from all over. So that's at the Royalty Project. If you want to look it out for your own, look for it for your own children, definitely do that. So I appreciate them in the past year and the things that they've done for me and my son and my family, because it kind of grew me and my sister a little closer together to see my nephews dive into it so hard. It's Juneteenth. So remember to be outside, be with your people, loving your people, stay safe. Enjoy some good music, enjoy some good food, just love on each other a little bit more today. For those people who couldn't get out of work yesterday, can't get out of work Monday, just don't fucking go. Take the day, okay? Because you need it. We need it. It's ours. I love you all. I want to say goodbye, but I don't. So we'll just keep talking for a little bit because I still got time. You guys got any questions? Any questions? My friend said, let's talk about how Puerto Rico didn't have no Don Julio. They didn't have no Don Julio. They didn't have no Don Julio. They didn't have no Casamigos at the hotel. They didn't even have anything like in the airport when I was coming back. It was kind of disappointing, but not really because I'm not a drinker like that. But I was drinking, to be clear. Because I was on vacation, I definitely was drinking. It was great. But this next vacation that I have with my old high school friend Sasha, how many blunts do I smoke a day? I don't understand how you asking that question when you're the one that I be smoking with. This is like, how you gonna put me on the spot and think that it will not put you on the spot in return? Like, what the a day? Let's see, morning, early in the morning. Well, I don't really sleep. So, what time does your day start? Because My day never really ends. It just keeps going. I ain't sell him out because he didn't connect me to nothing. I said he tried, but he didn't succeed. You feel me? However, I succeeded in giving him some shit. Like he didn't succeed. I succeeded. I sold out the people at the zip line because they're the ones that really hooked me up. You feel me? I don't know them people. You feel me? They can't find me. And even if they did come for me, what? 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 And I appreciate it. I appreciate he had his little side hustle. I ain't gonna say his name. You feel me? But he had his little side hustle. He go to all the black people, ask him. Is legal in New York now? Why? Oh, cause I got some from Cali. If you wanna, heard you, heard you, had me smacked, lost. Like I swore the stick was an iguana. That's all I'm saying. And the man was mad at me. The man was mad at me because he was having his own moment, looking for seashells and being the West Indian that he is, like on the other side of the beach. And I'm like, come here now. Like, it's an iguana right there. It was a stick because I was high. Yeah, my trap friends agree with you. They said I definitely should have brought that shit back and I could have brought it back. But I'm not that girl. I know I may come off like I'm real gangster, but the situation right here is I'm not. And I can't live that life and I can't take those chances. I have someone to live for that I needed to get back to. So I was not about to get arrested in Puerto Rico for some ganja. No, going home. But it was good. It was good. And then of course it wasn't my usual like raw paper and Fonto. I had to like smoke it in like one of them thick ass like Bluntville wrappers, which never ends. Like it just doesn't burn. That's a lot of work. When you smoking them with those, that's a blunt. When you smoking that by yourself, it's work, especially when you're trying to smoke it inconspicuously in the sand, by the beach, in the dark, and like don't want nobody to see you, but they can see you because you lighting it. You feel me? Like what is it? A bonfire, bitch? We see what you're doing. It was very difficult. But it was dope though. It was some good shit. I would definitely go back. If you do go to the Euro trips and you go to the zip lines, the most attractive man working there, he has tattoos all over his body. I'm not gonna say his name, but it's the opposite of devil. Okay? Amen. He could hook you up. That's what I'm gonna say. It was a great trip. My next trip is to Puerto Rico. I'm going to Puerto Rico next month. So I'll probably be going again for a weekend. July 16th to the 19th, whatever weekend that is. I won't be here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm letting you know now. I'm gonna let you know in advance. I will not be here because I'm going to Puerto Rico to celebrate my homegirl, Sasha, who I've known for years now. I'm the godmother to her child. She's having an extravaganza of a birthday. And when I tell you extravaganza, I'm talking like Nene season 5 check, not season 1. This is like a season 5 check vacation. And I'm excited. I'm here for it. I'm going to be a whole housewife. I'm going to be all up in there. I'm going to Mexico, Jackie. I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to Tulum because that's where all the black people are going these days. And I hope I don't get kidnapped. Whenever I go on trips like that, or like think about going on trips like that, I always think of like those hostel movies. Like even in Puerto Rico, like don't fall asleep in the Uber because they can like take you somewhere else, or like anything could happen. And then they sell my body parts, like just so they could do experiments. Remember them hostel movies? Those hostel movies were pretty brutal. And I always feel like that's gonna happen to me on vacation. So pray for me that doesn't happen, especially with all these bitches. I'm going with 12 females. I'm going with 12 females. Um, and if my friend Sasha ever has to question if I love her or appreciate our friendship, she'll always remember that I'm going on vacation with 12 females and no weed, no dick, and 12 females. So that's love. If that ain't love, Bad Girls Club, this it's gonna be like an episode of Bad Girls Club you ain't never seen. I don't know all the females that are going on the trip. I know some of them, but I do not know all of them. And then some of them I know, but don't know, but don't know, but know of. You feel me? So it can go either way. But I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I could like set up like another villa in another hotel just in case shit go left. You feel me? But I don't have money like that. She does. So we'll see how that trip goes. But before that trip even gets here, we have way more shows to go. I'm gonna have my friends come back on the show in a few weeks so we can like ruffle some feathers because it's necessary. For those of you who are just tuning in and you missed it, I mean, I just spoke a little bit about my vacation, and I definitely addressed why Tiffany is no longer with us or why she chose to no longer be with us. She definitely gave her well wishes and her blessings. I do I do welcome the idea of her coming to express why she felt she didn't want to do it anymore. I completely welcome the idea of her coming to talk to me if she wants to. Um, so she can tell her side. You know, I can't speak for her. I don't know all her reasonings, but I do know that I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere. And I've been enjoying the fucking ride. And I hope that everyone will continue to enjoy the ride with me and continue to just meet some dope people in the process. So with that said, go enjoy your day. It's gonna be a high of 90 degrees. It's June 19th. It's Juneteenth. You should be outside. You should be with your family. You should be holding somebody, hugging somebody, loving somebody, eating some food, drinking some drinks, but always staying safe and doing everything in love. I love you all. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Please tune in. Look for us on YouTube. Look for us on Amazon, Google, Vimeo, Google Play. Did I say that already? Roku, all of them. Always live on Share Sides or at Relative Realness. I love you guys. Stay blessed, stay black, stay humble.